Hi all, I'm Pushp, Sirohi, and today we'll discuss about psychology because it's very important topic and it will use in professional world more and more nowadays. So you must aware about the psychology. So as per the definition of Wikipedia, psychology is a science of behavior and mind. Psychology includes the study of conscious and unconscious phenomena as well as feeling and thoughts. It is an academic discipline of immense scope. Psychology seeks an understanding of emergent properties of brains and all the variety of phenomena linked to those emergent properties. Joining this way, the broader neuroscientific group of researchers as a social science, it aims to understand individuals and groups by establishing general principles and research specific cases. And in simple terminology, to understand the psychology is a scientific study of the mind and behavior. Psychologists are actively involved in studying and understanding mental processes, brain functions, and behaviors. The field of psychology is considered a hub science with strong connections to medical science, social sciences, and education. At Ohio State, the Department of Psychology is organized into 8 areas, work to investigate critical aspects of the brain and human behavior. So, first type is behavioral neuroscience, where we cover factor influencing plasticity of brain and behavior through development and into adulthood, hippocampal biology and functions, stress and the brain, neurogenesis and brain plasticity across the lifespan, sex related differences in brain function, endocrine and immunity regulations of brain and behavior, and the neurobiology of cognitive control. The second type is clinical psychology, in which we cover the treatment of mood and personality disorders using cognitive behavioral therapies, biobehavioral response to cancer diagnosis and treatments, testing and disseminations of psychological treatment for cancer patients, psychological and behavioral adoption to chronic health problems, effect of exercise on psychological and cognitive functioning, neuroplasticity in health aging and neurological disorders, mindfulness in cognitive functions in older adults. The third type is of cognitive psychology. So we cover experimental brain image and model based approaches to perception, memory, decision making, action, and languages, modeling decisions, processing in memory, perception, numeracy, how our visual system create our stable perception of the world, neuroimaging, studies examining how we value and choose things, the creation of biological plausible network model of human cognition, how we control our attention in complex tasks, how the auditory system solve the challenges of understanding spoken language. And the other type is disease and science, so in which we cover how cognitive, affective, and social processes influence judgment and choice, how numeracy, numeric ability, affects real world decisions, how the brain represents subjective values and beliefs, the role of attitude in numeric judgments and choice, how to improve self control, how information interpreted and integrated in decision making, modeling decision making in aging and cognitive decision. Then another type is development psychology. We cover learning and developmental changes in cognition, behavior, and the brain, genetic and environmental influences on brain and behavior, development of memory, categorization, and reasoning, development of numerical cognition and mathematical thinking, how children learn language and use it to understand the world, how children grow beyond the superficial in their social and moral understanding, how children grow beyond the superficial in their social and moral understanding. And the other type is intellectual and development disabilities, where we cover how to improve health and well being in children and adults with intellectual disabilities, autism, spectrum disorders, and other neurodevelopmental disorders, and how the best support family members of people with disability, how to impact the outcome and course of intellectual disability, autism spectrum disorder, and the related neurodevelopmental disorders, how to develop psychological instruments that measure core and associated features of intellectual disabilities, autism spectrum disorder, and other neurodevelopmental disorders, and how to treat behavior and emotional problems in children and adults who have intellectual disabilities, autism spectrum disorders, and relative neurodevelopmental disorders. Other type is quantitative psychology, where we cover developing, evaluating, and applying new quantitative methods for the analysis of psychological data and the application of statistical models to real world problem and Bayesian's model of human cognition. And the last type is social psychology, so where we cover automatic and deliberative attitudes, influential and on information processing, judgment, and behavior, increasing women's participations in STEM disciplines, how motivation in social interaction shape relationships, beliefs, well-being, and health. What motivates social behaviors? Effect of immune system and community anti-inflammatory drugs, like example Tylenol, on emotions, decisions, and social behavior. How similarity in brain activity across the people underlines similarity in thoughts, attitudes, and beliefs. So that's about psychology, guys. Hope this topic will help you out to understand about the term psychology. Thank you, guys. Have a nice day.